Alright guys, we're going to start game number 3 now between NRS and Fnatic. Alright, the map is going to be Cloud Kingdom. We're going to have KrasS as our Terran player versus SaSe, Protoss. And this should be good. Cloud Kingdom, one of the more throwback maps now. Kind of feels weird to say that. But let's get right into it, guys. Spawning in the top right position of Cloud Kingdom is going to be our red Protoss player. He's taken 2 wins so far. Can he make it a third? It is from Fnatic Gaming. It is SaSe. And spawning in the bottom left position as our teal Terran. Playing for NRS, it is going to be KrasS. So Cloud Kingdom is one of those maps that was always kind of seen as a good map for Protoss. There's a lot of choke points. Terran players have been trying to use the new medevac speed boost in Heart of the Swarm for extra damage, but there's a lot of easily defendable paths to third base, covers the main from large drops. There's many tight choke points for force fields and Colossi to do massive amounts of damage through, so it's going to be interesting to see what kind of build SaSe goes for. He has, of course, done some pretty interesting styles the first couple of games. Of course, we saw in the second game, we just witnessed him go for a Dark Templar rush, so it was very interesting to see how that panned out. Of course, the cheaper Dark Shrine allowed him to get sentries up to defend against pressure. That's something that, doesn't work as well in Wings of Liberty because of that. The Dark Shrine costing 100 less gas, that's an extra sentry for SaSe to be able to hold out the opposing Protoss forces. So, very interesting play. KrasS opening up with a barracks. No gas just yet, so we could try to see a fast expand coming out of our TL player. Not actually rallying an SCV towards the gas, so interesting to see if he goes for gas at this point. This has become a much more popular style of opening for Terran versus Protoss in the recent metagame of Heart of the Swarm, being able to get a fast reactor or factory for either Widow Mines or a lot of Marines to help defend against timings such as fast Oracle play, and being able to use Widow Mines to defend against large gateway pressure. But the Cybernetics core is on the way for SaSe now. He's going to get his second gas, so it looks like he's going to be looking to get a little bit possibly aggressive. Of course, gas openings in Heart of the Swarm for Protoss have become a staple. Just being able to get a fast Mothership core for defense, to hold off any kind of barracks play cheese, getting out fast Oracles for defense, or even just getting out a really fast Sentry and Observer to deal with Widow Mines. So it'll be interesting to see where SaSe goes with this. He's building up a little bit of resources, throwing down another pylon. His Cybernetics core is about to complete. We may see him go for a fast Stargate, so we'll have to see just how this pans out, guys. Zealot coming in here. KrasS is going to be able to scout this. He's going to make a Reaper, so this should be interesting to see where he's going to go with this command center on the way for KrasS. And he's basically just going to expand behind this. He doesn't want to take any real risks with his build. Gas is being mined, and now the Zealot's going to chase this SCV away from the natural expansion sentry, moving out, but no tech building for SaSe yet, so it looks like this is just going to be a standard sentry expand. KrasS moving out with his Reaper. Going to check out the tower now, and the Nexus is on the way for SaSe, so it looks like this could just be a 2-base tech build. This is basically a sentry expand, really safe against a lot of fast factory play. This Reaper is going to come in for KrasS, though. There's no Stalker here to shove this off yet, and the Reaper has that speed boost and health regeneration, so we may see some force fields from SaSe to try to catch it, but it's going to be able to get away for now. And we have a pylon being thrown on the right side for SaSe, so he's just looking to go into a pretty standard mid-game with this setup. He's going to get his robotics facility, possibly a couple of gateways afterwards, and, well, KrasS, he's just getting this command center up. He's going to move into his stim pack upgrade, get an additional barracks, and we could see him go for a standard 3 racks play, possibly an earlier factory, being able to take advantage of that gas that he had. So, reactor on the way as well now for KrasS. So with this additional gas, he's going to be moving a bit more of a tech play, but not really spending too much of his gas just yet. Reaper ducking in and out. And we have the Mothership core on the field as well. A hallucinated Phoenix. You no longer need to research hallucinations. So SaSe going to be able to just send a hallucinated Phoenix straight up to his opponent's base. And now that command center for KrasS is going to be moved out. So Reaper's going to come in here and scout this expansion. Sees pretty much everything that's up. Might be able to pick off a probe or two. So not bad play out of our Terran player. And SaSe's going to try to shove him off with this Zealot. Additional gateways coming in. We have the robotics facility complete. The Phoenix kind of sees everything, though. The Observer, not super necessary for scouting. SaSe has a probe position to possibly go for a proxy. And this Mothership Core able to do a bit of poking towards this this Reaper. But, of course, it has that health regeneration ability, the combat drugs, which really allows it to have a lot of sustainability. But factory is complete. Starport is on the way. Stimpak almost done. And this 2-rack setup, it's a little light on the units, but a bit faster on the tech, especially with the gas opening for the Reaper. So running over here, Sentry takes a couple of shots at it now. But Double Forge finishing up for SaSe. So he's going to be going into a very, very economic style, very upgrade-focused. Not going to be looking to do any kind of pressure at all until possibly 2-2 upgrades are coming in. This Reaper just trying to be as annoying as it can. It's taking the shields off the Zealot, doing a bit of damage to that armor now as well. So not bad play. The Reaper couldn't get inside the main base. He's going to scan, sees everything. The Twilight Council, the 2 forges, and that robotics facility. So SaSe really doesn't have any units at all. Just these 2 sentries with a bunch of energy. So things could get dicey pretty quickly due to this this fast gas play that we had from KrasS in terms of getting these medevacs out. He's going to have them ready for the 9-minute mark. He has the Stimpak upgrade. He has a lot of Marines. Using the new medevac boost ability, he could be able to duck in and deal a lot of damage. But the Mothership Core will have about max energy at that time. Of course, it has the Photon Overcharge ability to power up these Nexi into cannons, but is it going to be enough to deal with this pressure while the Marines are moving out and the Observer comes in and sees everything? Might hopefully not foolishly think that this is going to be stim upgrading, but now sees that the medevacs are on the field and the Marines are approaching the natural expansion of SaSe. Templar Archives are coming in, though. Chrono boosting out charge now for Zealots. A couple of them have been warped in. He may try to force field KrasS at the ramp here. He needs the medevac support. He comes in, forces a stim. Really, really big there, Gabs. 1 Zealot. That 1-1 upgrade coming very close to finishing, but now the medevacs have to come in here and heal these up. Additional medevacs are coming in. We have combat shields almost done, but gateways are being added on for SaSe. He's actually going to move up to about 7 of them, so he's going to have a lot here to hold off pressure, and the Photon Overcharge gets activated to throw this medevac away. Was trying to put on a bit of pressure. He's going to check for the 3rd base now. There won't be anything there to spot, and the Observer is right outside this tower, so he knows all about the reinforcements coming in for KrasS, so shutting them down won't be terribly difficult at all for him. And SaSe moving these High Templar down now. Charge is about to complete. Medevac going to try to duck into the main base here. There's already Photon Overcharge activated on this one as well, and that's what all that energy on the Mothership Core allows us to do. These 2 Nexi able to hold off this pressure, and this really allows SaSe to be super, super greedy. He's been able to get away with an immense amount of greed, going for the super fast 2-2 upgrades, getting out this High Templar tech with almost no real units to hold this off, just really abusing the Photon Overcharge and these medevac abilities. So now he's going to step up here. The Zealots are going to be able to catch these this medevac. He's not going to be able to drop anything there. He's trying to find some space to wiggle in here, moving in towards the natural. There's a Photon Cannon being brought in, but a force field tries to keep the Marines from microing around, but he's not able to get too much done here. And ooh, very nice feedback on that. Medevac almost goes down. He's going to try to drop in anyway on top of this. Really trying to abuse this. There's another couple High Templar here, though. He really needs to watch how much he's going to commit to this. Of course, the drop play can be strong for Terran using the new speed boost medevacs, but they're also quite vulnerable still to feedback as well now. Archon going to try in here. He's just going to try to grab these medevacs. Oh my goodness, so low on health. Boosting away now, very, very low. He's going to need to get out of here, bring these back for repairs. And we have a probe building a proxy pylon by the 3rd base of KrasS, so we could see SaSe get really aggressive. Marines duck into the natural, pick off a couple of probes of that medevac, and immediately boost out some. KrasS is really trying to put on as much aggression as he can, and SaSe is going to take his 3rd Nexus now. KrasS's 3rd command center is about to complete. He's getting his +2 attack upgrades. He's getting his +1 armor. He has that armory to move into his additional upgrades, but now the Zealots coming in, not able to stop this command center from finishing, but a large number of units moving out for SaSe. These Marines are going to run in towards the natural expansion, try to pick off additional units. The medevac here provides a lot of flexibility, but if feedback goes down, picking that off, and these Zealots are tearing up the mineral line at the 3rd base. He's actually pulled these units back, try to hold off any additional pressure that KrasS tries to throw in here, but SaSe's done quite a bit of damage. He's picked off a good number of SCVs. He's picked off a couple of these medevacs, and there's no ghosts on the field just yet. He's now getting them in production, but by the time it takes him to, the time he catches up and gets a couple of ghosts to deal with this army, medevac running in towards that 3rd base, not able to do too much to stop that. But this proxy pylon's still here. Additional zealots are going to be warped in. By the time he actually gets Ghost to deal with this, though, the Colossi switch is already coming. So Marines are going to be able to pick off this pylon. And might actually... Ooh, he grabs that mule, so good catch there. He's got his 2-2 upgrades. He's starting his 3-3 now. +2 attack not yet done for KrasS. So really good upgrade advantage for SaSe now. His High Templar being able to build up a bunch of energy. He actually has not yet researched Psionic Storm, though. This could come back to bite him as the game progresses. There are a couple of medevacs still positioned precariously to try to do a bit of damage. He's going to move in towards the main base. There's no cannons to defend this mineral line. Factory's under a little bit of fire, but the probe line is in danger. He actually has an SCV loaded in this medevac, so just going to try to take out as much as he can, but the Photon Overcharge on the Nexus will keep it safe. Marines run into the third base as well, stimming, trying to catch any units that he can. And at the same time, he's got a big push headed towards the main base. This Archon and Sentry actually get caught out of position, so a good play by KrasS, really trying to split up SaSe's units. Now, he does not have Storm, so even though these charge lots are 2-2, there's not too much here to actually support them. Medevac, though, not going to be able to do too much more at this third base. So let's look at a couple of numbers here. KrasS, supplies even. He's killed about 7 workers. He's lost about 9 of his own as well. This Observer been able to see basically all the production coming up for him. We do have that first Colossus coming out, though, so no Vikings on the field just yet. But he's already moving into Viking production, so KrasS is really staying on top of things here, getting these Bioforce out. Now he's moving a couple of these units up, so KrasS dropping in towards that third base again, stimming these units, trying to get a little bit more damage done, but feedback goes down. The Zealots are here to shut this down as well, and that factory not going to be able to do too much, just kind of floating around, drop into the main base, sees the Colossus, so he knows that the switch has come in here for SaSe, and he's going to try to move in towards the third base again, so KrasS is really being hyper-aggressive this game, just trying to force as much as he can while he builds up his Ghost count, while he builds up that Viking count to deal with the tech units, so not bad play at all. He's dipping a little bit low in supply, though. He needs to make sure that he gets his gas at his additional base. He's going to run pretty low, trying to get these upgrades. There's a stim run by into the natural expansion for KrasS. He's trying to hit additional probes for SaSe. Might be able to tag this High Templar. It'd be really, really big, but no, he's just going to zoom on out of there. Factory, of course, does spot everything, and with the scan, KrasS also knows where basically every unit is on the field for SaSe, so he's really maintaining good map vision through the presence of these drops. This factory, there's actually barely any anti-air here at all, which is really going to help these Vikings in taking out the Colossi, so Marine Marauder Force moving over towards that top side of the map, picking off a pylon. The Chargers are going to try to head up here and shut this down. They have the 3-3 upgrades, but a big warp in going in towards the south area of the map. SaSe could try to run into KrasS's third very quickly here. But KrasS has just been so mobile with his forces. His ability to put on this pressure is just insane. Another drop moving in from that main base. Additional warp gates are coming in for SaSe, but how much is he actually going to have to deal with this? The Stalker count is so low that dealing with the number of Vikings on the field is going to be a bit difficult. KrasS doesn't have a crazy amount, but what he has will definitely be enough versus what's on the field for SaSe. And did SaSe ever get his Psionic Storm? Yes, he does have the upgrade now, so he's going to be able to use that to deal the area of effect damage. And now the drop going into the main base as well. He's going to try to win, picks off the Mothership Core, gets the probes mining the gas, so he's really just hindering everything here for SaSe. The tech, KrasS really being relentless in his pressure. And this Warpin is still here in the bottom area of the map. He could try to push in now towards this fourth base of KrasS. The third is a little bit undefended as well. There are the Ghosts here, though, to help deal with this, and here comes that big push from SaSe. He looks like he's gearing up to go in. Now KrasS, though, immediately takes his chance, dives into the fourth base, trying to pick off this Nexus. Look, the Storm Templar coming in, and this Marine Marauder target firing that down, wasting killing one of that Templar for free, burning a feedback, so great play here. And now SaSe's drops coming in from the bottom side of the map. There are units already positioned here for KrasS, though. A Storm does drop. If he can damage these Vikings, that'll be huge. Gets an EMP off. The Archon merge happening now. There's so many medevacs here on the field. The Ghost trying to move up. He needs to get a good engagement here. EMP can do a ton of damage to this charge left force, and there's still no anti-air. The Colossi isn't going to be able to do too much. Trying to flank with these Warpins, though, might be what he needs. Templar could come in. If he gets a couple of storms off on these Vikings, that could be huge, but there's just so much here for KrasS. He just doesn't have a lot of bio, though, might be the really big issue. So many charge lots, no Hellbats or anything on the field to really deal with this mass number of light units. The storms are coming in. The Ghosts not able to do what they need to do to get rid of these storms, and it looks like SaSe is going to be able to take a pretty good engagement here, giving up a nice supply lead, and there's the GG. SaSe takes game number 3 for Fnatic in this best of 9 match versus NRS, so great play from SaSe. Really have to give it credit, though. KrasS was all over him with the drop aggression, with the run-bys into the natural expansion. So really good play on his part, but wasn't wasn't quite enough to take the game, guys. We'll have to see what happens in game number 4, which I believe would be a pretty decisive game in terms of where this match is going to go. SaSe taking Fnatic up 3-0. Is he going to be able to clean this whole match out? Let's find out, guys. Stay tuned.